rigged. He's fixed it.
Just fixed it. Okay, go ahead with the count off. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So our goal here is to go through prisoner cells, the first area, and we want to find a shop where we're going to look for some heavy turrets. We're also going to be grabbing these scrolls, stop our tactics, and get extra damage. Henpaku is the boss at this game, but I'm going to try and take him down today.
Where am I going? Getting lost in this place is the worst. I think I'm going the right way, though.
Yeah.
Okay, now I don't think I'm going the right way.
I don't know.
Wait, never mind. I think I'm going the right way again.
Oh, wow, this is a weird layout. Oh, sweet. So we had somebody else get this seed for us, and it's a good one. I like it. The shop is really awesome. The shop being triple turrets that we need is kind of sweet. It's like really hard to get the RNG for this.
Normally, what we would do is we would just keep restarting over and over again until the starting weapons are correct. And then even after the starting weapons are correct, though, we would end up having to reset anyways because the shop is not a skill shop. And even when it's a skill shop, sometimes you don't get both turrets that you need to complete the run. So you, and like a lot of Dead Cells is just, you know, re-rolling Simulator 2018.
It's not too bad because we do manipulate the RNG by like what we've got unlocked in the game, because you don't have to unlock everything. So we've unlocked very little to try and like eliminate a little bit of it, but at the same time it's still
RG based.
It's still pretty bad. It can take, normally doesn't take more than like 10-15 minutes to reset, but it can sometimes, if you have really bad RNG, it can take like 30-40 minutes to reset properly, which is...
My personal record is 62 resets before a run.
Really? Wow.
I've never gone higher than that, but that's the worst I've had.
Yeah, you're also a lot pickier than me. I tend to like just kind of practice. I'm getting some fast exits here. I'm feeling pretty good.
I just hit ramparts myself.
Yeah, I just hit the exit for ramparts. I'm not in ramparts yet.
All right, this is where RNG is going to play a huge role. Our friend prepared the seed, but we haven't actually explored it, so we're both going in blind.
So we need to find an exit, and the exits are all down these little tunnels, so you kind of have to guess. There's certain rules about it where like the exit will not be in the first area, it'll always be like a chest, and then there's always a speedrun door, because there's actually doors that are designed for essentially speedrunning, like they reward you for going fast in the game. They're too slow for us. we don't want to take those, they're not good enough. But it'll always be those two are the first ones down, but then after that it can be shops, it can be exit, it can be kind of anything, and we just have to guess and hope. Oh, that one's chest. I'm doing the guess and hope strategy, which is maybe not the best one, because sometimes I know Henpaku's old strategy was to search out until the very end, because it also can just be the straight end of the whole level where you find it. Oh, well, one of the problems with going really fast is sometimes you're in the air and you don't really realize that there's a hole rather than like a way down. And you'll try and jump down and go like, that was an open hole, like I just did there.
God, I'm not finding it. Largo, you gave us a bad seed. How dare you?
Alright, so it's not the end. I don't fall the way. Ramparts is rough that way. It's the first real spot that can get you for RNG, where you just have to kind of be hoping that your RNG works out well and guessing. I'm thinking that it's likely that it's this one then.
Now that I know there's a scroll there, I'm gonna go get it.
Aha!
There we go. Generally, with scrolls, there's the only way to power up, and you don't have time to power up, so you end up getting to the boss really underpowered. But general rule for speedrunning is you just don't pick up scrolls unless they are in your direct line of path, or unless you feel like you might you know, need a little extra power because you don't trust RNG.
Yes, yeah. Because you should have about 10 tactics by the time you get to this boss, maybe a little bit less. But 10 is about right. And if you've ever played Dead Cells, you might be surprised how fast we melt the bosses. This is why we have heavy turrets. Because the heavy turrets in the game right now are kind of broken. They had them start dealing double damage, and it's actually absurd. Also, there's a very, very little skip at the end of the boss where when you leave the area, it's normally supposed to have a walking animation, but if you jump at the same time, you'll notice that, like, I just did it, Henpaku will do it in a minute, I think, where
I just did it, yeah.
Yeah, you basically, you just vanish instead of walk out of the level. It just, if you jump at the same time, you have to time it right, but it's not too hard. And instead it just warps you out, so you just skip, like, a second cutscene kind of thing. So, now that we've finished the first boss, that's the first and only boss, honestly. It's the only boss of the game. I mean, there are others that are in the game, but we don't actually want to bother fighting them. So, now we can start doing some crazier things eventually. There's not a lot of crazy skips or anything in this game, but there are a few. This area we're going to be looking for a key, and then we want to go up and over just a secret area. It's nothing special here. And then we'll go out the level. After that, when we do assassin skip, it's called, there's a way to bug out the AI, where it'll just freeze, not do a cutscene to have the fight, and then we'll want to open the door at the far side of the room and get out, without actually doing the fight. And we'll have another skip for the final boss, which is Hand of the King now.
That's almost a skip. I like to call it the almost skip.
Yeah, it's an exploit. You just make the AI just not realize that it should be doing things, and it just kind of sits there and lets you beat it.
You skip the fight, essentially.
Yeah,
Like,
it ends up just being
fighting, not the boss.
It's an immovable health bar. It doesn't do anything. It's just a tank that you have to get through. I'm already at Clock Tower. This is looking really close. Holy crap. Clock Tower is the other area where RNG can really start to get you. Like, Fjord is normally not too bad, but the actual Clock Tower is pretty terrible.
Absolutely terrible, though. Like, the buildings were a lot more mazy, had very few entry and exit points, lots of dead ends, and button inputs, please. What was it? Yeah, and you could never find the key.
Yeah, it used to be a lot longer, but they changed the way the Fjord works, so thankfully it's not super bad now. I feel like the RNG on it's pretty tame at this point.
Oh, I found the exit.
Oh wow, really? You already found the exit in Clock Tower? I am annoyed.
No, I saw it through the wall. It's really close to a different tower. There we go. So what I just did right now is I picked up a scroll and then activated the elevator so that I could be pushed upwards as I'm, you know, doing the animation for the, oh shit, I found key. Wow, and I already know where exit is, holy shit.
I found exit. But yeah, you can skip the animation for one or the other.
Yeah. The easiest way to do it is to just jump and so you grab activate the elevator first in midair, but there are other ways to do it too. That's just
another thing
the safest way that I know
is you can actually skip. You can skip the spikes.
God, this is a good seed.
As long as they're pointing to the left. Oh no. Oh, so something that I just ran across, there we go, is something that we talked about earlier that we were hoping wouldn't happen, which is the dudes that teleport can teleport into the same spot as you, and they'll just bump you around. You can't be in the same spot as another sprite. So it'll knock you around all over the place.
Bye-bye,
which
assassin.
is really, really fun. And it won't let you actually jump back on the platform or something if they knock you off, so you can be in a lot of trouble.
So now I skipped assassin. Normally I would heal before going through Assassin, but I switched to Castle just in case I screw up the skip. This Castle's really dangerous, so even though I actually didn't take a lot of damage up to this point, I do a full heal anyways for insurance, because it's just really dangerous in here, so you don't want to risk it. And I didn't go through the colored door, which has the key that is required to exit right away, because exits have a tendency to be near one of the colored doors, so I investigate a little bit first before going inside and checking the contents. Okay, we have one of the keys. In order to get out of here, you need 2 keys.
I missed my assassin's skin.
No!
It's like an extra 10 seconds. It's not really too bad because you melt the boss so fast, but it is nice to not have to do it.
Holy sh...
Castle is rough. So Castle is an area that's where the game really becomes non-marathon safe. It used to be pretty easy. Like I would say that I probably would miss like, I don't know, 1 in every 50 runs or something when I used to do it without Castle, like before they added in this area. Like maybe 1 in like 20 or 1 in 50 or something you die on. But in general, like if you weren't doing anything really insane, it was pretty easy to complete it consistently. And
I
now
found
it's
Castle
like,
exit.
Castle is rough now.
This Castle RG is so good. What's going on?
Oh, I haven't seen it. Another thing that we should mention, I suppose, is that the castle is basically where the devs, it got added about a month ago, and it really feels like the devs were like, oh, are there people speedrunning our game? Let's stop that. Because they put like spikes on every wall.
They put everything that is like inconvenient for speedrunners.
It is nothing but like blind spikes everywhere. So if you're going fast, you're just gonna randomly hit spikes all the time. So you're gonna, and the spikes in this area too, everything upgrades when you're this late in the game. So like it'll take off 3/4 of your health. It's insane how much damage it'll deal. So that's why you have to heal up. Yeah, it's all blind spikes and like weird spots like on walls and other areas where you wouldn't expect them to be. So it makes it really, really fun. This direction maybe? Nope, can't be here.
Alright, boys, get ready.
Yeah, this is all a lot of guesswork as to where exits are. I think that you've guessed a lot better than I did.
I was
ahead of you for a while, and then you got that clock tower.
Time, 12:35.
Nice. That's really fast time. Holy crap.
Or
12:30. Did you 12:39?
Not 12:39.
No way. That's world record if you did.
Let me see. It's sub 13, so yeah, that's world record. Either way.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, this seed was so good. If only it wasn't a seed, like this would be submittable.
Wow.
Holy shit. Okay, so yeah, 12:46 if I'm looking at this correctly.
That's nuts.
All right, now I get to. What should I do while I watch Alien? Should I do another run, see if I can clear it before he finishes?
You should. Sure. Should commentate where I'm going. Tell me where the exit is. We'll put it that way.
It's near the blue door, all the way to the right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I see you're in green.
Yeah.
Because blue is slasher, right? Yeah.
Yeah, blue is slasher.
Okay.
So, all the way to the right.
Yeah. It's not in like any. Well, I don't know if it's in a corner or anything as far as the map is positioned, but it's on the right. It's like it favors the right side. This run.
Yeah, I knew it. I'm like, I'm actually gonna die. I went through every single part of Castle. If you go through every part of Castle, you have trouble. I saw that coming from a mile away because I couldn't find the exit. If you spend too much time in Castle, you're almost always gonna die. At least for me, because I tend to go too fast, and then I just keep hitting spikes on walls or things keep hitting me.
Just in
So that was
general,
rough, 'cause I couldn't find the
the more
exit
time
right
you
away.
spend in there, the greater the risk.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. Like, Castle is rough. If you don't find the exit right away and you have to spend a lot of time running through it, you're just gonna have a hard time because they're gonna run into problems. The rip.
Oh, did you die?
Yeah, no, I told you that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I'm not lying.
no.
No, I ripped, man. No. Like, I could not find exits. I uncovered probably about 90% of the map.
No.
Yeah, like I went through almost the entirety of Castle. You happened to cross it right away because you happened to go through Blue Door, and I went through Red Door. And because you went through Blue Door, you saw it. I went through Red Door and I didn't see it. So then I circled around, went through Green, went back up, and I kept going through areas and I just couldn't find it. And I was like uncovering. You start uncovering like little corners. You start trying to look through like shop exits and stuff through walls so that you can try and see. Sometimes shops will actually have exits out the far side of them, and so they might mess you up that way. And I couldn't see it, so I couldn't find where exit was, and so I kept on backtracking. Like the whole time that you were fighting boss and stuff, I was just going through Castle again and again and again.
God, I had no idea.
Yeah, no. If you go through Castle for more than like 2 minutes, you're probably at a huge risk of dying because you'll just run into random things.
All right. Well,
Like there's too many blind corners and things for you to traverse Castle safely for a very, very long time. If you have to keep backtracking and stuff, you won't always die, but it greatly increases your risk, like you said, and it's definitely not marathon safe, that part of the game. So if you end up not finding exit, you greatly increase your chances of dying.
that sucks. That was such a good seed. I really wish that was like the random run.
It shows, yeah, it's funny because it shows you a really good thing with this game where I found that interesting that like right away you found both clock tower exit and key before I did, like because I went up the wrong tower, and then you found like the exit for Castle right away, and it shows you how much, like, for me it's like, oh, that seed wasn't that good. It didn't feel that good. But then for you, because you happened across the right spot, like you just picked the right areas, you're like, oh my god, that seed's insane. And it's like, yeah, like it's funny the way that the RNG works in the game. You just pick the wrong door. What seems like a really bad run could have actually been really amazing. You just had to pick the right one.
Right.
Knew what you were doing.
The greatest appeal for speedrunning this game for me is definitely like fighting the RNG. You could, have like a lot of you could have bad skill and get a good run, or you could actually beat someone whose RNG was better than yours with your skills, and I find that quite appealing, which is why I speedrun this game. So it's great. I love it. But
I mean, the reason why I like it is that the movement is really, really smooth. Like, is the other thing for me. You have to being able to adapt on the fly is nice in this run. Like, you have to do a lot of adapting, and the movement is. There's a lot of different things that you can do with the movement, like being able to dodge roll out of the way of things. There's a lot of hazards, which makes it difficult, but also like very rewarding to actually manage to do all the stuff. And there's lots of just like little tricks to get things. Like things that we didn't talk about are, if you can, you want to time your rolls so that they end at an enemy or at a door, because what it'll do is like it won't let you stop in an enemy space, so it'll just slide you through and let you keep going faster. So you can kind of, like, I'm kind of doing that a little bit on my screen, where it'll just like extend your roll extra if you can end it right on an enemy. So you try and do like little things like that. If you have the assault shield, you're trying to do things like if you're at the right angle over the ground, it'll slide you towards the ground and give you like super speed even more than it normally does. So all these like little movement tricks that you have to learn, and you have to try and get better and better at to get faster and faster times. And
so, quick FYI, I did break world record just now, but this seed is disqualified for submission because we used a seed. In any percent category, normally you have to roll for yourself and find the re-roll until you get the items and then do the thing. But for the sake of the marathon, we didn't want to do too much RNG because that could take potentially hours in worst case scenario. So we had a seed prepared, but we didn't explore the seed. So me and Alien were running blind as if it was, regular RNG. Yeah, I didn't think I'd break the record though.
Somebody else did it. Yeah, I didn't think that you'd break the record either. That was one of the reasons I started going. I got a little sloppy in Castle because I was trying to go so fast. I was like, holy crap, he's so far ahead. What's going on? It's so damn fast. It was crazy. Like, I was way ahead of you in front of castle. Like, no, I mean not way, but I was a fair bit ahead in the clock tower. And then you were like, "Oh, I found exit. I found key." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
You just ran into all of it.
It,
And I
it
was
was
like, "Oh
it was
man!"
like the best possible
nailed it.
situation because I saw it through the wall in a different tower, so I didn't have to like accidentally find it and dead end.
Yeah, and it had the tower that you accidentally saw it through was the tower that had key in it.
Ugh,
So it was like, yeah, that's the perfect RNG.
it doesn't get any more
And it
ridiculous than
just
that.
got me really sloppy.
All right.
Well,
So
it was really fun to have us on board, so I appreciate it. It was good
Yes,
times.
thank you very much. That was
Hope
really
everything
fast,
goes-
but that's the run.
That's the run. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Like less than 15 minutes. We said 25 because when we submitted it on the run where actually it used to be you were probably going for sub 10 at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was just assassin, and we submitted it under that. And then the minute that we submitted it, like the next day kind of thing, they updated the game with castle and with the new boss and stuff, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, and then like
add some time to that estimate, boys, because we haven't learned the end boss yet.
Yeah.
Like, we had no idea. And then we found out assassin skip and stuff after that, which was really interesting. Because we didn't know about assassin skip before that. Like we'd been trying to figure out a way to skip assassin, and we hadn't figured out how to do it exactly. And so the times that we had that were like, you were at 10:30, I was at like 11:20. We hadn't actually figured out how to skip the final boss yet. And then we were like, oh, with the new update you can skip assassin. And then we were like, oh, actually no, you could have done that on the old update. So it was just something we hadn't even discovered. So we found like a bunch of new skips to do for the old areas once the update came through, which was kind of funny.
Yeah. It was
all
a
right.
lot of the new discoveries were actually after the patch like happened.
Yeah.
Credits
We
to
found a lot of weird things happening after the patch came out, and then we were like, oh, well, it must be because of the patch. And then we went back and it was like, no, it was just always there, we just didn't realize it. So kind of some fun things. The game has a lot, I'm sure that the game has a lot more to be discovered too. Like we're looking at some different routing. You saw us go through Clock Tower today, but there was another one called Sepulcher that might be faster. The RNG can maybe be a little more intense. We're kind
of a coin toss right now.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff to be discovered in this game. I definitely would suggest it for anybody that wants to try a speedrun that is a little more RNG than maybe some other ones, but has some really cool smooth movement, lots of cool bosses and stuff. In any case, I'll let Boyx take you back over probably, right? Move on to the next stuff, I'm sure.
All right. So yeah, that was Dead Cells. Very RNG heavy type of run, but very fun and interesting. Let's go ahead and get set up for the next run here, which will be JTB playing Resident Evil 4, New Game Professional. So I'll get that set up and we'll be right back.